Okay, so we're preparing for the Beatle documentary, and it's really the countdown. I'm so excited, John. Yeah. So tell me what's going on right now, because Facebook is blowing up. Our Facebook page is blowing up anyway. Yeah, we're blowing up Facebook. Facebook might crash tonight. Right. They'll attribute it to the Beatle thing. Well, it has nothing to do with the Beatle thing. It has everything to do with your crashing Facebook. They can't keep up with the friend requests, and they're having a hell of a time staggering them. And yeah, they're flooding in. I mean, every time I go over there, it's like, and I have to go right down the line, and then they're coming. I don't know what to think, but it's weird. Being an empath, I can actually hear voices coming from around the world. That whenever we accept a friend request, I can hear cheering. Yes, it's like she accepted me. They accepted me. Like it's crazy. And the energy is just nuts. And I just like, oh my god, I'm just bugging out, John. Yeah, I don't know else to explain this. I was having flashbacks about, again, of course, my biological mother, and I was just talking to John about, the hatefulness that really would come through. Like if there's ever any doubt, I can just remember one particular instance that was very telling. My brother Dennis adopted a little girl. Uh, his girlfriend had a child out of wedlock with another man, and his girlfriend was like very insistent that my family adopt her child because it was very important to her to get the money from my family. If anything happened with Dennis, she wanted that kid to have my parents' name. It was very apparent that she was looking out to really get that kid set up for life. So my parents accommodated them because they did always everything Dennis wanted. Dennis was their little golden boy, the little baby child, little baby man in the family, and the little girl was beautiful. She was adorable. She was always seemed to me like an innocent bystander in this crazy situation with a lunatic mother and this crazy stepfather that was my brother. A child man, a man child, really, just not shouldn't have been anybody's father. Damaged goods and just, you know, certainly not this little girl, but I don't know, maybe he's done a good job being a father to her. I hope so. I also don't know for a fact that he would ever do anything to harm a child. I think my brother is much too timid for that. But psychologically, I know his thoughts are impure. I know him well enough to know that. So when people are into porn and really filthy stuff like that and like going to prostitutes or denigrating women, then I kind of don't like the idea of them being around kids, right? So I don't know that my younger brother ever would do anything to hurt a child, but I also don't know that he wouldn't. That I don't know if he would or he wouldn't. Whatever. If that makes any John, it's perfect. It's an honest assessment. Your brothers both were into weird things, and they had no qualms about sharing it with you, or they never tried to hide it from you. If they were looking at weird shit, your older brother used to send you pornographic literature, like he would write to you like you were his girlfriend or something. Yeah, when he first got on the internet, I had to like delete his emails to me were so inappropriate. This was my older brother. I told my parents about it too. Like he's writing weird things to me, like the things he likes to do to women and or whatever he does with women. I don't even know. He never had a normal relationship. And my mother would be like, "Oh, that's your brother's being silly. He's just silly." Like that was somehow appropriate and okay. And my younger brother was really tight with my older brother, and they had a lot of similar interests. So it's like, and neither one of them ever had a normal relationship with a woman, and that's all I can say. All I know is what I see. I never wanted bad things for those brothers of mine. I wanted them to be okay. I wanted them to find love in their lives. So I tried to be a good sister-in-law to every single woman they ever brought into my stratosphere. Not one of those women was normal. Not one of those women had a healthy mental capacity. They were all drunks, drug addicts, or addicted to other medications and strange things and whatever. They all had crazy issues, jealousy against me, the sister. It was really nuts being raised in between. I was the middle child, the only girl, and those having those two for brothers, and my parents who were abusive pedophiles. Like, that's a weird place to be. Anyway, the thing I was getting at with my mother was the hatefulness that it would come out of her toward me, and she didn't know that I could see it so clearly. Like, this woman hates me. But the little girl that my brother adopted into the family loved me. She was a very sweet child. We saw eye to eye, and I always said that I loved her because she was not a member of our family. She was, she was pure. She wasn't part of that messed up family. So I knew her since the time she was a tiny little thing, and I really loved her. Don't get scared, Dennis. I'm not going to say your stepdaughter's name. Anyway, every time I saw her, I would make sure I brought a game or a toy, or we had Wool or a CD, and we would just have fun. She was the most fun person. She loved to laugh. She loved animals. She loved all my jokes. She loved my jewelry. She loved my dogs. She loved me. And whenever I would sit and play with her, I would look over at my mother occasionally, and there was such a look of pure hatred on my mother's face. And she just couldn't hide it, and she wouldn't even try to hide it. And she'd yell over to the little kid, "Haley, play with me. Go, leave Lantlin alone. You play with me. You're here to see Grandma." Mm-hmm. And that's my biological mother, That is what she is to me. This hateful creature. Mm-hmm. Gives me the hives. And I saw the same look on the mother's face, the mother of the child's face. Similar look when her daughter would run to me or play with me. It would be a look like she was being forced to eat a shit omelet. The mother of that child and my biological mother. Whenever I would interact with that sweet little girl, the two of them would look at me like they wanted me to be dead. They couldn't help themselves. It was this hatred. And I felt it. I could feel it clear across the room. Because when you're an empath. So, I don't know. John said, "This is an interesting memory you're having right now. I'd like you to record it, please." So that's what I'm doing here, recording that. And John, do you want to speak on it at all? Everything that's being recorded now is a worthwhile transcription that will come in handy later. Okay. You'll see why. I can't say more, Lena. All right. But this is all stuff we need. Are we compiling a file because of anything? Nothing you have to worry about. But we are compiling a file for you when they try to once again win you over with some bullshit. All right? Mm-hmm. Because I'm not saying you're a sucker, Lena, but you are too kind to that bunch that were lucky enough to have you as their daughter and didn't realize it. Or maybe they realized it and they just couldn't handle it. I don't know. Nobody knows what is really wrong with them. Mm-hmm. Nobody knows what. But I'll tell you one thing: your mother calling up Christopher's mother and father. She doesn't know what she sounds like. Mm-hmm. What does she think Christopher's mother and father are going to do? She thinks she's like the mind of a child. She thinks their parents, they will fix this. No, you're a parent and you fucked up that girl. Mm-hmm. And now you're having trouble owning it. And so you're bothering Christopher's father because you still, even though you're the same age as Christopher's father, Madeline, somehow you think of him as your father. And that's where you are out to fucking lunch, lady. Lunch, lady. Yeah. Your biological mother and father are two helpless troll children that can't fucking wipe their own ass, looking for help from another set of parents that have absolutely nothing to do with them. Really nothing. But they don't have any living parents of their own. And so they're looking for surrogate parents at the age of 82. Mm-hmm. Interesting. Yes, it's quite the phenomenon. Your parents their behavior is unprecedented in the aberrant department. Let's get that straight. Now, we have a lot of work to do tonight, so I just wanted you to put that out there because Dennis is still hungrily viewing your videos and he needs to see all this. Dennis, you're going to go to hell if you don't watch it. In fact, you're going. Mm-hmm. I'm just giving you one last word because you could still try to get in touch call your sister. But that's going to be something that you don't have the balls to do, so you're going to hell. In the meantime, Lena, we got to go. Let's all right, we'll be back. We're coming back for a tarot reading. We got to do a tarot reading with the Beetle cards before tonight's Get Back. But I got other things planned for you. Before that, let's go. All right. I love you. I'm sorry, Lena. I don't mean to overwhelm you. Am I overwhelming you tonight? No, I'm all right. It was nice to hear from Dante Honey. Yeah, I know. It was never her fault, but she was in the middle. Yeah, I know. She was like a mother to my dysfunctional mother. It was, even though she was her older sister, she like raised my mother and had to watch this spoiled brat fucking boss the whole family around, I imagine. It was really not her fault. You're right. You're always right. You know the dynamic. You don't need to be told, but it's good to hear you talking sense, Lena. Aw. Well, somebody's got to do it. And Mimi, yeah. And Ina came through, but I didn't get Ina? Yes. Just keep on keeping on. And I wanted to tell you, all right, Grandma Ina, Christopher's grandmother. This is Aunt Karen's mother. We spoke to Aunt Karen on the phone the other night. Ina, yes, I just want to say that conversation you had with my daughter Karen was the most heartwarming thing. I tell you, that has been long overdue. She really has always loved you too. My sons, the Whittings, my two sons, Teddy and Bruce and Karen, all of them, please believe they all loved you and love you, and they would always be there for you. And if that would have been right, I know. If you would have had that breakdown when Bruce was alive, I know. Bruce would have been right by your side. I know that. Hi, Bruce. Hi, Lynn. I would have been right there with you, Lynn. I would have been right there with you. I know. I was right there with you. Okay? But I hope you felt me. I did, Bruce. Thank you so much. All right. Now I know you want to get in under the wire because the clock says 8:37 and that is an 18. Yes. So we'll talk in a little while. Can I come in for the Beetle reading? Uncle Bruce will be with us for the Beetle card reading. Let's go. Let's go.